Yo, this is Talk E. Welcome to the Locker Room. We talk nothing but basketball. If you want to be part of the Locker Room, you obviously have to be part of the team. In order for you to be part of the team, you have to subscribe and share the video to not only be part of the team in the locker room, but to also be a part of our daily basketball conversation so that you don't miss nights and events of basketball like this. Now, without wasting any more time, a lot of things went on yesterday. So let's start off with our Hawks and Heat playing game. It's the first two games of the playing tournament. It was the first night, and oh my God, there's a lot to talk about. First game, the Hawks go up against the Heat, and historically the Hawks do terrible against the Heat, specifically because the Heat know how to guard Trae Young, and they do it very, very well. And yesterday, off the gates, like just from the beginning of the game, Trae Young comes out very, very aggressive. He forces the Heat to have to change the way they're playing their defense, at least the way they're guarding him, and then he starts using his teammates. He uses his teammates to attack the new way of their defense, specifically Clint Capella. And there's a lot of back and forth. I mean, they put up a 36-point first quarter to, I believe that he only put up 23 in the first quarter. And in the second quarter, the Hawks come on, they put up 29. So basically, pretty much back-to-back 30-point quarters in the first half. And then on top of that, they come out and pretty much they go up by like 24 points at a certain point in the first half, and the Heat have to fight back, and they have to just keep fighting back. Their only lead was 2-0 in the beginning of the game, and then we get to the second half, and this is where you would expect the Heat to be like, okay, let's shut this down. We're gonna win. Third quarter, we're gonna bring the lead down or tie it, and then the fourth quarter, we're gonna really put our foot down their neck and win this game with our defense. No, it's not what happened. Third quarter came, the Heat trying to fight back. Fourth quarter came, and Heat still trying to fight back. The closest they got it to was 5 points, and that was it. They never got over the hump. I mean, Trae Young, like I said, phenomenal. I mean, he grabbed 8 rebounds. If you are allowing Trae Young to have 8 boards or 7 boards against you is insane. Especially when you have players like Jimmy Butler, like Bam Adebayo, taller guards like Tyler Hero. Trae Young should not be having 7, 8 rebounds against you. I don't care. I don't care what you say. What's your excuse? That should not be a thing. And on top of that, the way the Hawks came out to play this game was insane to me, because first things first, we all already heard what happened. Right before the game, news broke that the Hawks are trying to trade anybody and everybody if possible, including their star player Trae Young. Now, I don't understand why you would trade Trae Young. You have not given him a great team to actually compete with. I mean, you try to get him Danilo Gallinari, Lou Williams, all these people, but they were old. Danilo Gallinari was injured. Rajon Rondo's old by the time I got him. In my opinion, you need to trade John Collins. Not your star player. Like, give him pieces that actually matter. Give him a team that complements him, and not a team that just filled with talent. It has to complement. You can have a whole team filled with talent and it goes nowhere. Or you can have a whole team that's, have a lot of talents, but they all complement each other. And that can go really far. And I feel like the Hawks ownership are so hung on that one season where they went to the conference finals and played the Bucks in 2021. And that season was a weird season. You cannot hold that to, as a way to measure the scale of how successful your team can be and how successful your starters are. Because if we are being completely honest, the Hawks did not belong in the conference finals that year. If Ben Simmons would have just got up and dunked the ball, it would have changed momentum into the Sixers side, and the Sixers would have won. There's a couple other games where the Sixers choked, and they had leads. So, the Hawks had a couple of games handed to them. They got lucky. that season. You cannot hold that, till 2023, 2024, and be like, oh, I'm not gonna lie, now it's time to trade Trae Young. No, you trade everybody else except Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. And I'm gonna be honest too, like, you cannot have news like this come out right before an important game like a play-in. Now the Hawks have had to play in the play-in 2 years in a row now to get into the playoffs, and understandably so. They're not great. They are exactly where they're supposed to be with this roster that they have. They play very boring. They play slow. It's just like hard to watch. It's the same style. And they find themselves in the play-in. And like I said, that's exactly where they belong until they trade John Collins and shake the team up. But if you trade Trae Young, when the hell are you going to get a good point guard? You're not. There's a lot of teams that are struggling to have good point guards. You have gotten lucky with Trae Young. Why trade him? I understand, like, from the outside looking in, it looks like it's hard to play with him. It looks like it's hard to coach him. But at the same time, I mean, I can't say much because I'm not there with him. I'm not on the inside. But I understand him. You're giving me the same team year after year after year after year and only changing the coaches thinking it's going to do something. It's not. It's really not. You need to change the starting lineup. I'm telling you, trade John Collins and Clint Capella if necessary, but definitely John Collins. I'm telling you, trade him. And it's not even that I hate John Collins. It's just that I think, one, he could be better and more important and more valuable on another team. And two, I feel like the Hawks just benefit more from trading him. And they lose less compared if they were to trade Trae Young. And just to talk about some of the stats of the game, Clint Capella had 4 points and 21 rebounds. I mean, like I said, you have Bam Adebayo, super underwhelming game in terms of offense and rebounding. I believe he had 12 points and 9 rebounds. Ever since the bubble, he has not been playing the same. He has not been very aggressive. I mean, that 1 year we thought he was, like breaking out and being around the top 5 centers of the season of the league. And it just did not happen the same way the year after that, and then the year after. And last night, it was just another underwhelming game from him when it matters. 12-9 is not a great game from him. And then, especially if you're allowing Clint Capella to get up and get 21 boards and 8 of them are offensive, that's not good. That's really, really, really terrible. DeJounte Murray, we all know he's gonna get his, he's gonna get his points. He gonna eat somehow, some way. He gonna do it by any means possible. He got his 18 points, I think, and the Hawks pretty much do it by committee. And you go to the Heat side, and Jimmy Butler, he tried to do his best. Kyle Lowry off the bench with 33 points. I mean, that's the most points he scored on the Heat. But at the same time, it's like, I feel like it affected other players from scoring too. Like, Kevin Love only had 2 points. And maybe Lowry had the high hand, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know, man. It just doesn't look right with him having 33 and K Love having 2. I feel like there's something wrong. Max Strus, we all know he's going to do his part. He's going to get to his play spots. He's going to do what he got to do. Shoot his threes. And he had a decent game last night. But as a team, the Heat were just very underwhelming. Mostly defense, rebounding, just wasn't there. And then our second game of the night, and our most important game of the night, well, most entertaining, but our least, in terms of drama and news, yeah, it was this game. We had the Lakers going up against the Timberwolves. And oh my God, what the hell happened here? First half, Timberwolves take the lead And the Lakers go on a 4-2 run to basically get back in the game. And then out of nowhere, the Timberwolves go on the 14-2 run. And they end up the half with 60-49. Timberwolves up by 11 points. We get to the second half, and pretty much in the third quarter, they're up 80-65. Karl-Anthony Towns came out the gate, 3 for 4 from shooting, from, 3 and obviously long twos and stuff like that. And so shooting wise, he was really good. But he was shooting over people that he should have got to the basket to. Like, he should not be shooting over Austin Reeves. He should put the ball on the floor and get to the basket and bully him out the way. And he just not aggressive, bro. Like, Cat came out in the first quarter aggressive, and then he just disappeared when they needed him. Like I said, third quarter, 80-65. They're up by 15 right now. Up by 15. All you really need to do in the fourth quarter, play defense, weather the storm. They might make 1 or 2 pushes, and that's it. They're going to end up sitting out. You know what the Timberwolves come out and do? They come out in the fourth quarter and basically just try to feed Anthony Edwards the ball the entire time. And on top of that, Anthony Edwards was 3 for 17 shooting. 3 for 17 settled a lot in the beginning. 3 for 17, it sounds insane. That's not even 20%. That's about 18-19% shooting. He had one of his worst games when it mattered the most. Only put up 9 points. Mike Conley had 23 points. And he had 6 threes. We get to the fourth quarter, and the Timberwolves team is just, I don't know if they forgot how to play. I don't know if they forgot their offensive playbook. I don't know if they forgot their defensive schemes. I don't know what happened, but they had 11 turnovers between the beginning of the fourth quarter and the end of overtime. Yep, this game went to overtime. And the Timberwolves had 11 turnovers, only 16 points between, like I said, the beginning of the fourth quarter and end of overtime. 11 turnovers, 16 points, and then I believe it's only 5 shots that were taken. And 2 of them were from Karl-Anthony Towns, and he missed both. And then he gets into foul trouble. And then there's 6 or 7 minutes where Karl-Anthony Towns does not score the ball at all. Just being super lax, super laid back instead of being aggressive. Especially there's a lot of times I feel like he should have called for the ball and he didn't. Especially knowing that Anthony Edwards is having a bad game. And then we get to overtime, and this is when the Lakers really beat them. But before we get to overtime, let me speak about those couple of plays. LeBron gets the ball, and you know what LeBron's going to do. He going to get to the paint. He going to make the defense collapse. Did that. Boom. Now, everybody's on LeBron. He kicks it out Dennis Schroeder, and Schroeder hits a super clutch 3 with 1.4 seconds left on the clock. Could have been a game winner. All the Lakers needed to do is play defense. If you're going to foul early. So it's not a 3-point free throw chance. It's a 2-point free throw chance. And you have the ball. It becomes more complicated, but that's not what they do. 1.4 seconds left. Like I said, Timberwolves get the inbound. They get it to Mike Conley. He goes up for the 3, and Anthony Disabled Davis fouls him. I just don't understand, bro. I don't understand. If this game would have been lost by the Lakers and one by the Timberwolves. Do you know how crazy the world will be talking about Anthony Davis right now for that one dumb decision? Do y'all know that? Like, we would be going crazy on him right now. He is so lucky that the Lakers won it in overtime, because Mike Conley got to the free throw line and he hit all 3 of those free throws. And guess what? Those 3 free throws were the Timberwolves' first free throws of the second half, and it was Mike Conley's first free throws, I believe, of the entire game. Super clutch. And then we get to overtime, and like I said, the Lakers pretty much, took it from here. They just, rolled up the Timberwolves and, lit them up and, took a couple of spliffs, puff, pass, smoked them, and sent them home. And like I said, this is why you need Jaden McDaniels for defense. This is why you need Rudy Gobert to stop being dumb, because you could have used his defense and his rebounding last night. And on top of that, the person that he punched came out and had 13 assists. 13 assists last night. Now, 13 assists is crazy from Kyle Anderson. I mean, he came out and he delivered. He did what he was supposed to do. Karl Anthony Towns like 24 points, 11 boards. I feel like he could have done more. Mike Conley ends the game with 23. I just spoken about Anthony Edwards. Super disappointing. I expected more out of him. Timberwolves have one more chance. Please do not be stupid. Please do not throw that game away as well. I don't know what's up with the Timberwolves and hand injuries. There's just something wrong with their hands all the time. Nas Reed just injured his hand, a couple games ago, and now he has to sit out for the rest of the season. Now Jaden McDaniels, Rudy Gobert is out for punching somebody, for using his hands. I don't know what's up with them. And then you get to the Lakers. LeBron had 30 points, 10 boards, 6 assists. LeBron is in playoff mode, or he's getting into it, and he's super close. I'm telling you, LeBron is there, bro. LeBron is ready for anything. And AD was like, I forgot how much he had, honestly. I believe it was like 24 points, 15 boards. So I believe he also had 4 assists, 1 steal. Great from him. Dennis Schroeder off the bench with like 20 points, I believe, 21, 23, something like that. Great production off the bench. Just great from this entire Lakers team. From a team that struggled to make it out of the 13th seed, the team that struggled to make it into the top 10, the team that struggled to get into the play-in or even hold the play-in spot. They're now in the playoffs, and now they have to face the Grizzlies. And to be honest with you, facing the Grizzlies, to me, is not going to be a problem for this team. I feel like the Lakers could take the Grizzlies down. I feel like they have the defense, they have the bodies, they have the talent. They just need the health. If they have the health, I feel like they could take down the Grizzlies, and it would be a crazy upset in the league to take down the 2 seed. And then for our Hawks, they have to face the Celtics. Again, I think the Celtics could beat them. I think the Celtics could take them down. I think it's not going to be a problem. The Celtics might give them 1 game, and that's about it. But in terms of the Grizzlies-Lakers game, I feel like those games can go to 6. I got Lakers in 6. If Lakers do it in 5, I would not be surprised. If it goes to 7, then Lakers might have a problem. I'm being so serious. I know they have LeBron, and LeBron goes crazy in Game 7s, but they might have a problem. But anyways, that's enough of me rambling. Chatting. It's time for y'all. Let me know. Chatting down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. This is Real Talk with E, and it's time to leave the locker room. I'm going to catch y'all. Safety.
Irving puts it up. It's good. Kyrie Irving from downtown. The officials have to review it. And the Lakers win the game. Banks it in. He banks in the 3 to win it. Good. That's why he's NBA All-Defensive Team. Adebayo, sky high. with the block and rejection.
This is for the win. Got it. Wow.
At 7, working against Butler, got down.